Kulinski from Secular Talk did one of his Secular Talking Smack segments, and he was asked a question about Jordan Peterson, and I really thought it was important to show you guys this clip. Check it out, and then I'm going to come back and talk about it.
Jordan Peterson, I think he's an interesting character. I mean, I guess I agree with him on his anti-social justice warrior stuff, but I also think he's massively overrated, and he's become like, I don't even know how to describe it. He's become almost like a fucking, not a cult leader, that's too strong, but he's become like a fucking key influence on so many young guys, and I don't think that's a good thing, because there's so many things he's just ridiculous about. Like, he thinks porn is bad and wrong, and he's a Christian, and he has does preposterous Christian apologetics, and he argued with Sam Harris for like fucking 2 or 3 hours about the meaning of the word truth, which was just a ridiculous thing to listen to. I couldn't even wrap my mind around exactly what he was saying, and I think Harris was as baffled as I am about what he was saying there. But again, while I agree with him on some of his anti-social justice warrior stuff, I don't think he's some sort of hero. Like, I think he thinks he's some sort of hero, but he's not. I mean, he got all this fame in the first place because he said, like, I'm not going to call trans people by what they want to be called, like by the pronoun they want to use. Why? Just fucking call them what they want to be called. It's not that big a deal. And I get it, because he was actually saying there's like a Canadian human rights code thing that's saying I have to call them by what their preferred pronoun is by threat of law. But like, that Canadian code, there's no punishment if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, maybe it's weird to have that code say you have to call people what they want you to call them. Like, it's weird to have the law get involved in that. But the law has no teeth to it, so like, it's not a big deal. But he made it like this big thing, like, I am a hero and I refuse to buy into the fucking postmodernists and the neo-Marxist view of stuff.
I thought that this was very important to talk about, and I think that Kyle is mostly on point with what he says. But first of all, I don't give Jordan even as much credit as Kyle does. I think that shutting down his speeches are wrong, and that's probably the only area that I really agree with what Jordan's doing. But I thought what he said was exactly what I've been saying, and you can go back and look at it because I've talked about Jordan Peterson. But basically, it's this, there's this kind of aura, and this kind of, his identity within the skeptic community is basically that he's some kind of legend, he's some kind of hero. He is just the best person ever. He's like, the hero. He's the forefront in everything. And he's some kind of like person who's really had a battle. And he's, this Gandhi guy, this Martin Luther King Jr. type guy, says, I won't pay a fine if they force me to do this. And again, I've already talked about this before, but basically the code that is put in for the hate speeches, it's something that is already there for all the other groups. You're just adding transgender there. And the misusage of pronouns does not constitute hate speech. You wouldn't get any jail time. Now, when it comes to enforcing the law, it is what it is. And I believe that he would lose his license due to that. So, again, this kind of, and I think he makes like $50K a month on Patreon, which is just fucking ridiculous. Nobody knew who Jordan Peterson was like a year ago or something, and people are just fawning over him. They love him. He's Jesus to them. He's God to them. He's, infallible pretty much in the community, and I haven't heard too much about him as of late, but I think that he's a joke, and I think that he's definitely somewhat bigoted in terms of towards transgender people, but certain things that he says are, fine. Like, when it comes to shutting down speeches, I think that that's wrong. But a lot of the shit that he does sucks, and Jordan Peterson sucks overall. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below. Leave a like and share the video. Help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.